Start out the first night in several days where the clouds haven't populated the sky over the John Day Valley at 6:20 p.m. on the 7th of November 2025 with a view of magnificent M31 galaxy group, including 31, 32, and 110. Look how expansive 110 is. And this is a mere 5-second exposure. It did take some time to try to get the scope collimated today a little after sunset. Let's see what they look like if we push it up to 150x, which is using the full light capturing ability and resolution of this scope, and adds about 3.5 magnitudes to depth. Look at the depth of the texture in Messier 31. Looks like I could do a little bit more alignment, but that may be in the secondary, not the primary. I'll play with it more my next opportunity out. Let's go back and have that one more view, this time filling the field primarily with Messier 31 at, 30%, which is roughly about 50 to 55x, because I am using El Quattro, the Fast Newt, and will probably continue to do so from here on out because it creates so much more space in the observatory than the F8 ED scope. What a magnificent view we're getting, and we get to use all, at 100% e-zoom, we get to use all of the light capturing ability of the scope. We're even getting hints of a dark lane right here, a third dark lane at 5-second exposure, which I consider to be the equivalent of about a 24-inch eyepiece view. However, this view is at a much lower magnification, which you need to squeeze in as much of the great Andromeda Galaxy as possible. So pausing out. Okay, here's our 150x view of Messier 110. The stars are looking fairly decent. We've got the core and extended core region. We're going to have to do a couple of stacks here to get the most image quality. I haven't played, however, with the histogram, which I'm about to do. See if we can remove some of that pixelation. There we go, a nice dark background sky. Let's brighten it up just a wee bit. As mentioned previously, we are now able to use the 100% e-zoom, get good star views, and capture all the light the ZWO imager is capable of in terms of displaying on the 3008 by 3008 pixel screen. Okay, I have put a lot of attention on this pair of galaxies right here, NGC 1 and 2. Let's push it up to 100% e-zoom and get the best view we can. Stars are looking nice and roundish. I guess I did a pretty fair job, although it's a little fainter off in this direction here, which I have yet to characterize. But look at these two galaxies. This is NGC 1. It's about magnitude, I believe it was 12.8, and this is 14.3 magnitude NGC 2. Both are showing a good deal of texture, especially NGC 2. NGC 1 has got a core region with extensions and a faint halo. NGC 2 is a bit more extensive. I'll give you the data. NGC 1, Galaxy and Pegasus, magnitude 12.9, 1.7 by 1.2. It's a spiral with a lowercase b, 202 million light years distant, right ascension 7 minutes 15 seconds with a declination of plus 27 degrees, 42 minutes and 30 seconds. And yes, it does lie in the middle third of the sky. NGC 2 is a Galaxy and Pegasus, right next door, magnitude 14.2, 1 by 0.6 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase ab. 337 million light years distant, puts it about 110,000 light years in diameter with a right ascension of 7 minutes 17 seconds and a declination of plus 27 degrees 40 minutes 40 seconds. Let's run through the NGC 1 to 50 group this evening so we can compare it to imaging I had done previously with FAED refractor eddy. Well, astrobuds, I hate to say it, but the clouds are encroaching. We're a couple of let's see, today is full moon was on Wednesday morning. This is Friday evening. We're 2 days late on the full end of the third quarter, and clouds are starting to get quite illuminated. Unfortunately, we probably will not spend any more time out this evening. Let me do a little zoom in. We can definitely see NGC 3 right here, magnitude 13.3. And if we come over and look south of this SAO star here, we can probably make out 15.9 magnitude NGC. Yes, we can. NGC 4. Dropping down from it, we will have NGC, I believe it was 7840, and then there's a number of other galaxies in the view, and we are getting them all here. This may be 36, 37, 38, and it triangulates with another galaxy. Oh, here we go. See if we can pick it out. As another galaxy right here that it triangulates with. Oh, there it is. And then finally, I'm trying to get this thing to, there we go. Finally, we have two stars over here that relate. I'm trying to figure out where they are because everything's switched around now with the 150 El Quattro. However, let's go ahead and push it all the way a little higher magnification, take advantage of a little more light. Oh, that was weird. Come back. I did not mean to do that. Let's see if we can get escape here. Escape. All right, back to our normal field. Okay, so we are basically making out the entire NGC3 galaxy group, despite the fact that the clouds may have moved out a little bit, which may explain why we're getting the complete view. Pushing it all the way up to 100x and looking at these galaxies, look how the detail begins to pop in the galaxies. Here's our 15.9, very present. Down here is a larger NGC 7840, and then we make out the two fainter galaxies here, which have quite a bit of presence. I'll mark all this up later. We have this galaxy here, which triangulates with a pair of stars, and we get this other triangulated galaxy off to the right here, which makes a nice equilateral triangle with the other NGC 78, 35, etc. Field. Now, what's over here is very intriguing. This looks like a galaxy, and it's supposed to be NGC 7830, but apparently it is not a galaxy, it's a star. But why is it that it is so nebulous around it? Apparently it was discovered using a fairly large speculum-based telescope described as a nebula, but later it was decommissioned to be a star. So that's our view of the NGC 3 galaxy group using the F4 eddy. Let's move on to some of the other galaxies in the NGC 1 to 50 range. Okay, what we're supposed to be seeing here is NGC 5. This is a 35x field. We'll zoom in a little bit. Things have been centering up reasonably well, I do believe, but I am not making this galaxy out. It's an elliptical 1.2 by 0.7, magnitude 13.3. And I am searching around. The background sky does not look that bad. 227 million light years distant, right ascension 7 minutes 48 seconds with a declination of plus 35 degrees. 21 minutes 44 seconds. Now this galaxy, there is a galaxy. I do believe it's right here. We'll have to compare it to a Steve Gottlieb description to be able to confirm it, because his description will have a reference to this brightest SAO star right there. And here's our look, and it may actually have a companion. Okay, here's our wide field view of NGC 6. It could be in this region here. We're going to need to zoom in. We'll go up in magnification. I do believe it might be the galaxy right here. It's also NGC 20, magnitude 13, 1.7 by 1.6 lenticular spiral, 222 million light years distant. We'll continue to push it a little bit. We're at right ascension 9 minutes 32 seconds with a declination of plus 33 degrees 1831. Let's get that 150x view that uses all the pixels. Obviously, there are other galaxies in the field, several fainter ones with a kind of an edgy on one there. That's our view, NGC 6 and 20. Okay, you can see here we have clouds to the deep south where the galaxy and Sculptor, magnitude 13.9, 2.2 by 0.5. Arc minutes, it's a pity we're not seeing it. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c, 72 million light years distant, maybe 35,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension 8 minutes 20 seconds with a declination just inside our parameters for the NGC Tour project. Minus 29 degrees, 54 minutes, 56 seconds, but at least you got the data for you folks further south to enjoy. Okay, we got those luminous high thin clouds rolling in and out. It's probably going to obscure this view to a bit. Let's just do some zoomage, see if we can pick out NGC 9, a galaxy in Pegasus, magnitude 13.6, 1.1 by 0.7 arc minutes. Is probably, I can't get the mouse to move. I'm using a different table here. It's probably this galaxy right here. It's a spiral with a bar, but peculiarities. 202 million light years distant at 8 minutes 54 seconds right ascension and a declination of plus 23 degrees, 49 minutes 3 seconds. We have already got 10 stacks at 5 seconds each. That is quite excellent. Okay, here we are looking at a nice star field for NGC 11, galaxy in Andromeda, magnitude 13.7. Edge on, look for it. 1.5 by 0.3 arc minutes, and I do believe we are seeing, well, that could be a double star. All right, let me keep zooming in a little bit. We seem to be getting pretty good alignments. No, that is probably the galaxy right there. Bit broken up, wouldn't you say? It's a spiral with a lowercase a, 195 million light years distant. That is very peculiar. It could be a pair of galaxies here. We'll have to find out from Steve Gottlieb. 195 million light years distant puts it at about 70,000 light years in diameter. We're at RA 8 minutes 42 seconds with a declination of plus 37 degrees, 26 minutes 53 seconds. But I am seeing high thin clouds in that direction, yet still a good view. NGC 12 is our next look. Galaxy in Pisces, magnitude 13.1, face on, 1.6 by 1.5 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar. I'm reading material, so I can't figure out where it is on the screen yet. Lowercase bc, 175 million light years, maybe 70,000 light years in diameter. We're getting some high thin clouds. We're looking at right ascension 8 minutes 44 seconds, but our declination is outside the sky's middle third at plus 4 degrees 36 minutes 44 seconds. I'm going to keep pushing it a little bit. It really does help now that we have lower magnification. Can't really tell you where the galaxy is right off. Could be several fainties there. Anyway, I'll back out again, and hopefully we'll pick it up on the way out as we drop back down to 75x. Yeah, I do believe it may be, I see something faint there. I haven't played with the histogram yet. Wasn't really planning on doing so. Let's look at the screen tomorrow. Okay, our next study is NGC Lucky 13, a galaxy in Andromeda. 13.2, 2.3 by 0.6 arc minutes. Look for an edgy on galaxy in the field, in the 35x field. 220 million light years distant. Right ascension is 8 minutes 47 seconds with a declination of plus 33, 25, 59. We may need to have some magnification on this one. And it does appear there may be a galaxy right there. Let's keep pushing up to 150x, make it pop, make it obvious. It looks a little more face on, though. Oh, yes, there are some brilliant extensions on it going way out. You see them? Very, very nice. So we're seeing the core region and extensions on a magnitude 13.2 galaxy, NGC 13 in Andromeda. A really good look. Okay, now we should be looking for NGC 14, Galaxy in Pegasus, a little further south though. Magnitude 12.1, 2.8 by 2.1 arc minutes, so probably around 14th magnitude average surface brightness. It's an irregular with peculiarities, a mere 39 million light years distant. So this baby is quite small. I would estimate it to be somewhere around 25,000 light years. It's pretty obvious on the field. It's at a right ascension of 8 minutes 46 seconds. Let's push it up to 150x. There's our view. Right ascension 8 minutes 46 seconds plus 15 degrees, 48 minutes 56 seconds. And now we've just completed 10 stacked views. Okay, so I was going through some of the Rounders series earlier, and I noticed just how good the fields were in a fast scope. I think I'm lining up right here on NGC 15, Galaxy in Pegasus. Magnitude 13.8, 1 by 0.6 arc minutes, a spiral class A, 286 million light years distant, probably about 75,000 light years in diameter. RA 9 minutes 2 seconds with a declination of plus 21 degrees, 37 minutes 27 seconds. A good look at probably what is at least a pair, if not more, galaxies. Index 1, we're now on to NGC 16, Galaxy Pegasus, magnitude 12, 1.8 by 1 arc minute, probably the brightest galaxy in the 1 to 50 series we've seen so far. It's an elliptical class 3, 140 million light years distant, 9 minutes 4 seconds with a declination of plus 27, 43, 46. Should be quite apparent, and it is on our 30x screen. Pushing the magnification up to 100x, we now get a brilliant look at a galaxy with faint aura of extensions. NGC 16. Okay, I would say we just had a jet flyby here and we're seeing the trail. However, our galaxy may actually be somewhere in the field between the two vapor streams. Yep, not quite making it out. Oh, maybe this one. NGC 17 is also 34, magnitude 13.8, 2.1 by 0.8 arc minute spiral. 241 million light years distant means it's about as large as the Messier 31 at 150,000 light years. RA 1106, declination minus 12 degrees, 6 minutes 26 seconds. Well, NGC 19 should be a really good test for us. First, we're going to have to make it out, and I do believe we are seeing. Galaxy in Andromeda, magnitude 14.1, 1.1 by 0.6, so a 2-to-1 aspect ratio. Magnitude, as I said, 14.1, but this is a spiral with a bar and lowercase bc and an annularity, a ring. We should be looking for that annularity. Typically, annularities are 4 magnitudes to 4.5, fainter than the collective magnitude of the galaxy. This is at right ascension 10 minutes 40 seconds with a declination in the sky's middle third of plus 32 degrees 58 minutes 58 seconds. There are some high thin clouds out there, and the moon, third quarter moon is looming. There is our view of NGC 19. We won't go to 20 because we captured it earlier as a previous NGC entry. Okay, this should be NGC 21. And we can see it right there in the field. Let me get the data on it. Usually try to put the data up before I go ahead and activate, but sometimes the pattern doesn't hold. Okay, we're looking at NGC 21. It's also NGC 29. Magnitude 12.7, a 2 to 1 aspect ratio, 1.5 by 0.7 arc-minute galaxy. Spiral with a bar, capital B, lowercase bc, which means it has 2 spiral arms, but it's 2.5 times removed from lenticular. 215 million light years distant, right ascension 10 minutes 46 seconds with a declination of plus 33 degrees, 21 minutes and 8 seconds. We'll push it to 100% and get a look at NGC 21. Okay, quickly on NGC 24, galaxy in scope there. Would have been the brightest galaxy and largest of the evening, magnitude 11.6, 6.1 by 1.4. Spiral with a lowercase c, 26 million light years distant, 9 minutes, 56 seconds, minus 24 degrees, 57 minutes, 51 seconds. Have a good look, you folks, for much further south. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look at NGC 26, a galaxy in Pegasus, magnitude 12.7. Here's a bright one down further. This one looks kind of faint, but it's largish. 2.1 by 1.4, spiral with a lowercase ab, and an annularity. And this is an annularity we should be able to see on a good night of seeing, and I think it's hinted at there. 10 minutes, 25 seconds, declination plus 25, 49, 55. And moving swiftly. NGC 27, right? Pretty much near the middle of the field. Magnitude 13.4, 1.2 by 0.5 arc minutes. Distant at 317 million light years, spiral with a lowercase b. 10 minutes, 32 seconds in right ascension. Deck is plus 28, 59, 47. Let's go ahead and push it right up. And there is our view with spiral extensions, I do believe. Okay, we're hoping to see NGC 35 here. And it's a galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 14.7 by 0.5 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase b, 266 million light years distant. Right ascension 11 minutes 10 seconds with a declination of minus 12:01:14. Sorry, folks. I gotta get this mouse up. Okay, high thin clouds, folks. Once again, NGC 36, galaxy Pisces, magnitude 13.1, 2.2 by 1.4 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar, lowercase b, 272 million light years distance, probably about 170,000 light years in diameter. Note the E-zoom percentage. Right ascension, 11 minutes, 22 seconds. Declination plus 6 degrees, 23 minutes, 20 seconds. And we have just pushed it to maximum. And I am bailing, if only on this galaxy for the time being. We're really pushing the time, almost over 24 minutes. NGC 38. Galaxy in Pisces, 13.5, 1.4 by 1.3. Spiral with a lowercase a, multiple spiral arms, 359 million light years distance, so larger than Messier 31. Right ascension is 11 minutes, 47 seconds, with southerly declination of 5 degrees, 35 minutes, and 12 seconds. Hopefully it's somewhere in the field. You can see the sky brightening up in the background. Here we have NGC 39, a galaxy in Andromeda, magnitude 13.5, 1.1 by 1 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase c. 216 million light years distant, means about 65,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 12 minutes, 18 seconds, and a declination of plus 31 degrees, 3 minutes, and 40 seconds. And there is our 150x view. NGC 40 was a planetary nebula in Cepheus, too far north. 41 is a galaxy in Pegasus, magnitude 13.6, smallish, 0.8 by 0.5 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c, multiple spiral arms, 264 million light years distant, 12 minutes 48 seconds, with a declination of plus 22 degrees, 1 minute and 24 seconds. Here is our view. Very, very nice at a 150x with the stars looking nice and roundish after doing my collimation of the primary mirror. NGC 41 had a neighbor, which we may have noticed previously, and we can see it now. NGC 42, magnitude 13.8, 1.1 by 0.6 arc minutes. A lenticular spiral, 271 million light years distant, maybe 75 to 80,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension, 12 minutes, 56 seconds, with a declination of 22 degrees, 6 minutes in the northerly direction. Here are our two galaxies viewed, 41 and 42. Field, 30x field of NGC 43, galaxy in Andromeda, magnitude 12.6, 1.6 by 1.5 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar of the lenticular class. It's got a bar and lenticular. 218 million light years distant. 13 minutes right ascension with a declination of plus 30 degrees, 54 minutes, 54 seconds. And here is our 100x view, and it does apparently have at least one neighbor. This might have been the most spectacular galaxy of the evening, Messier 45, galaxy in Cetus. Magnitude 10.6, large, 7.6 by 5.4 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar, lowercase d, disturbed to some degree. 22 million light years distant, so it's probably about 50,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension, 14 minutes, 3 seconds, with a declination of minus 23 degrees. I'm going to play with a histogram on this one just because it is such a potentially viewable study. That is NGC 45, and that's the best look we are going to get at it. I can push the magnification up a bit, but I'm seeing nothing in the field except for this vaguishness right about there. Okay, heading north, but still in Cetus, and I have to change the histogram setting, although it looked very nice aesthetically. We do want to see this galaxy. In Cetus, it's also NGC 58. 47 is 58. Magnitude 13.8, 2.3 by 2.1 arc minute, face on pretty much. Spiral with a bar and lowercase bc. 255 million light years distant, puts it at about 180,000 light years in diameter. RA 1430, declination plus minus 7 degrees, 10 minutes, 4 seconds. Let's push it up and then bail. Okay, both NGC 48 and 49 were too far north at plus 48 degrees. We're having a final look for the evening, Carpe Noctem view of Messier 31 and 110, featuring 110. This is our 75x view. Look at the extension on this beauty, 5-second exposure. Probably not the most artistic view right there. We'll back it off to about 75x, and that's as fine a view as I've seen in quite a while, even though moonshine is beginning to illuminate the many high, thin atmospherics overhead. With that, I'm going to say Carpe Noctem.